We most certainly are. A map that statistically, and as the desk kind of touched on multiple times, should go the way of BetBoom. T-side as well, if they can get off to a good start, really does apply that pressure directly to 9Z. Artfrost already outside, going to be trying to bypass that smoke, get down into secret, but it's Levy, one of the new recruits, one of the Brazilians in the team that does kick off the round with the USP headshot.
Yeah, said it before, but if you're the underdog, this is the time to really do it. MagnoJez, though, he's shown up with a headshot in return. He's managed to take down Max. And Diladez, he's trying to hunt that down, but it's not really going to be working out. So Bano instead shows up with the shot. The shadow is showing there for Boomich, and that's an easy execution with the Glock. Will take him down. 3 versus 3, but only for a second here. Kills are just coming in faster than we could even call them out. Lucan is the next to go down. And Levy being hunted. MagnoJez, 3 kills. All of them headshots so far. And Wowzo Peak is the last one left. The bomb is going to be planted. And how does he even get out of the vent here?
Well, that's a good question. One thing that may work in his favor is that MagnoJez is low. And so he can't afford to be sat out in the open in case he gets picked off from main. But now he has exploded out of the vents. He's made a ton of noise. And MagnoJez picks up his 4th kill. That ruthless efficiency they touched on the desk, coming through full circle.
Probably hard-pressed to try and force their way back into this round. They do have the 5-7 in the UMP with some armor on top of Lucan and Wowzo Peak, so it's not impossible. They've taken over this lobby position, which is really cool, but I don't think BetBoom care. They already know that someone's in there, and they're going to be wrapping around outside, while you can see Siren is back there in T-spawn, just kind of making sure that no one is really sneaking up behind them. Boomich. Not the first time that we've seen him flying through the air with a MAC-10. It's kind of a common thing. Some good kills, to be honest. Really impressive work. If they could find Artfrost in the corner, then maybe there's a chance. But Max is going to get smoked out, and BetBoom still with a slight lead in this round. But it's gone better than I was expecting, to be honest, for the 9C squad.
100%. I think, of course, the competitor in them will still want to win this one out. Max is still very much going to be trying to jockey for position and just outright get that 2-1 scoreline. But even if they do concede from here, this is going to be far above their expectations. A low Artfrost did just get the bomb planted down. Galil in hand. The AK should have the upper hand here, but it's an insta headshot as Max sent packing. But especially with the economy changes, with CTs now getting more reward per kill they picked up in the round.
They probably know that, but there's nobody downstairs. He's just all the way running. He's inside of the B-bomb site already. If they don't know about it, this is so devastating. He's made his way so far here.
Yeah, he has. And he can also hear footsteps. He knows the players in ramp, and they're also causing chaos and mayhem outside. 9Z, head spinning from all these rotational plays and angles they have to be cognizant of. And now the rest of the T started to spill downside. And Lucan had no idea. He may have anticipated that vent push was forthcoming, but he never expected him to be up close and personal.
Just normally when you do those vent dives, the CTs will know about it very quickly, and the communication is going to allow any ramp players to kind of be aware. And that just wasn't the case. I actually think Diladez, they did a little bit of damage to Lucan beforehand, and then they kind of was a second engagement that we caught there where they ended up fighting each other. But either way, he definitely wasn't aware the first time. And what could they improve on, and what are they good at, or something like that? It's like you had to write that for your classmates. I don't know why. It was just an invitation to bully people. But every single person in my school said he talks too much about video games. Like every single comment, for, like what I could improve was like, don't talk about video games so much.
Now you do it for a living.
Every opportunity. And again, they're a team that can thrive in the very fading seconds of a round. So you got to be careful. You can see Boomich is slowly making his way across, although they'll find Diladez. That was Levy with the kill. They were sneaking up, I think, for the ramp to get that one. So a lot of chaos now unfolding. 35 seconds left as they should be able to get this one. Boomich. He wanted to be real sneaky, but he also didn't want to let him go. Urbano up on the rafters, getting that one. USPs come out now. We're down to about 20 seconds, and what a great work coming in. Double kill with the... All right, that's nicely done. It turns into a triple for Urbano. It's going to say a double from on top of the hut there. That would have been plenty enough already. So, wow, 9C. Yeah, it would be a classic Counter-Strike tragedy if you end up losing this round. I feel like it happens all the time, but yeah, you're right. They must hold on to this one. A little bit of an incendiary pushed up. Lucan, he's very, very committed to this. I hate everything about it. We say it all the time, but ramp is not a bomb site. You really don't have to stay and die. Might have thought that he was sort of trying to play a bit of a trick. Maybe they were expecting him to fall back, and he was playing counter to what the intuition would have been. but it doesn't work out for him. Dilades has gone down, but they've also lost another player. And speaking of which, it's Magno just back with another kill. They are sort of trading, but it's going to go in favor of BetBoom in a big way. They have some money. I suppose you might as well try and go for this. What? Max, he's strafing while shooting and getting the headshot on Artfrost. That is an absurd kill.
Well, now they're definitely going for it. If they were dipping their toe in the pool just before to see what the temperature was looking like, but the timing there, Siren decides to snatch the life away of Max, and there's not much that Levy can do about it. Too many angles for him to watch out for, and that consecutive string of success that we were talking about has been cut abruptly short. And wouldn't you know it, BetBoom, they've just dialed back the pace. So slow, so methodical, letting 9Z sweat this one out.
Incredibly frustrating. I feel like it might be even more so if you're an underdog team having to play this slightly slower version of Counter-Strike, because I don't know, it always feels counterintuitive, but when you're on the CT side, like this, waiting around for a long time it doesn't feel good. You feel like you're supposed to be doing something. You see it a lot where people start making mistakes. First trade is pretty decent, I suppose, and Magna just taking a bit of damage. She's picked up the AWP as a result, so following Bogdan's law, still works in 2025. Oh, what a shot, though.
Well, they may get caught off guard by the player that's in the corner. Oh, this is such a good smoke. I was thinking Urbano could have been that man, and Dilades still checks the angle and removes his head. Lucan's the only player that really has anything to say about this. A guy that's statistically one of their best players, had phenomenal success in regional matchups. It's been a real rough day to kick things off, 1-4 with 34 HP, but Magna just walks straight into Levy. A battle of the Orpers now puts it down into a 2-on-2. They don't have control of too much here, 9Z, but they do have their hands back on the kit again. As the spray goes awry, Lucan gets his second kill of the round, and it's down to the IGL himself of Boomich to clutch this one out. First frag in his favor, knows the second player was spotted around Squeaky, but Levy is so fast on the draw, takes down Boomich, and gets his second round.
You sort of live and die by the same play style. I just wish he could find some moments to turn it off. Like, there are players like him where they have a bit of an off button, but then they can switch it back on again. I feel like I've definitely seen a number of games where he's just aggressive too much. Speaking of which, he goes down to Lucan. Was he? That's interesting. So he was on the ladder inside of the vent, and Siren, apparently his gun sticks through and he tries to climb into the vent and just dies. Especially stolen AK or two and just keeping everybody alive. They do have everybody in position here. Smoke is going to go up, and incendiary to the Molotov to the side, so that should give a little bit of a space for a bomb plant if they are quick about it, but so far they're taking great care to check out every single corner of the bomb site. They want to make sure that no one's hiding anywhere. Boomich getting Max as he was trying to reinforce through the vent, so back into a 4 versus 3, and things are getting more interesting. Unfortunately for the T side, they are out of grenades here, so that bomb plant, even that is going to be potentially a little bit risky.
Yeah, especially when you consider those 2 incendiaries as well, Anders, on the CTs. So they can draw out a couple of these angles. But Levy is low. I'm surprised they only had basically 1 player down on B side this entire time. Like, that does seem like a massive oversight, but they've got the kills going back and forth. Now it falls upon Artfrost, realistically, to have a ton of impact on the double door side. Urbano's not really wanting to peak this on low HP. And suddenly down into a 2-on-2. One of those aforementioned players is the weakened Levy with the AWP. Far from ideal to go for this one, and they couldn't really cover the bomb defusal. And so BetBoom get it done.
Yeah, and Spider Boomich burning after the fact, but it just doesn't matter. They need this more than anything. 3 MP9s, 2 M4s, and Boomich has got his trusty Mac 10. There's actually only helmets on 2 out of 3 players on that 9Z side, so if he finds one of them, it could be all over. Nice tap away while flashed. Boomich does go down, but it reveals there's a player behind that Unbreakable, so see if he can find him right away. Chaos in the yard. I think BetBoom did not need to commit to all those fights.
Yeah, they were just kind of stuck out in the open for too long. It felt like Secret was begging to be pushed into. Now, obviously, the bomb getting dropped down is always a bit of a nightmare. But you consider the distinct lack of weaponry and really that much invested into this round collectively on 9Z to come out with a potential 4-player strong save, upgrading to multiple AKs. This would be a great shot in the arm for the rest of their half, assuming they can clutch out from this point. Now, please, 9Z, do not lose from this position. We saw you just lose a 3v5. Surely you can't lose this against Siren. Such a strong part of this 9Z squad. And so bringing in two relatively unknown Brazilians, it's not necessarily worked great for them thus far, but this is an amazing opportunity. If they can somehow make it the distance to the LAN itself, that would be an insane outcome. That being said, though, MagnaJez continues to be a real pain in the backside for 9Z. His 13th kill in the first half, and he's opened up business outside in the process.
You can just tell the confidence is so ridiculous. Siren's going to catch one player, and even if he dies, it confirms there's another player on this site here, or not safe either. MagnaJez hunting, and they know where Wowzer Peak is, so the only question is Lucan, who's now headed towards the ramp with his teammate, and they're just not even ready for it here. Boomich will clean it up. What a nice finish here, and it will be a 7th round for BetBoom towards the end. That's got to be more than enough, surely, Vince. We're going to see right now BetBoom now on the CT side, up closest Boomich with a Zeus. God damn, what is he doing? Is he actually going to try and Zeus one of them in the pistol round? That's so mean. He takes down Max Boomich. Why? Try and humiliate them. Siren is going to be next to fall, and 9C. I'm almost rooting for them now. I want them to take a bit of revenge here.
Well, they still have to deal with MagnaJez, and he has those Julies alongside him. Spots the first player, finds him as well, and then cleans up, of course. He picked up 4 kills in the first pistol round, and he's gone back-to-back with those Julies.
Just the 1 AK, but let's see what they bring.
MagnaJez also has 4 opening duels in his favor and 4 multi-frags coming into this second half. And there's another one to add to the mix. Wowzer Peak, another victim, as he spots multiple players outside. So that's relayed intel. They're going to try and blow open that smoke wall one more time. It's really stalling 9Z from getting across there. They finally do get MagnaJez, but look at how much these smokes have basically been forced back on. You've got Max at low HP, and they're still unable to get all their players down on secret. Only one's pushed by himself.
Yeah, it's a really awkward position, you're right. And they don't have more smokes to put down. So, yeah, the continued HEs, the spam through, it's just kind of giving up this early advantage that otherwise 9Z would have had to try and keep them guessing. And Artfrost knows that someone's out here. The flash doesn't go deep enough. It's going to be Dillides on the other side. And that, by the way, is the bomb on the ground. Artfrost with a laser shot through the yard to take down Max, leaving Lucan in a bit of a weird position. Goes back, not even worried about that ladder, but there was actually a CT that already made his way up. So either way, I think Lucan is in an unwinnable position here. I don't know what you do.
He's in a world of hurt, isn't he? No control over the bomb, 30 seconds on the clock. You want to die before time. Like, the Mac-10 is not something you really care about saving too much. He needs to go out and try and get some kills here, or die on his sword. And down he will fall to the hands of Artfrost. And again, I really can't overstate how sick that was, that combined kind of chipping away at the wall of smoke.
Here's another wall of smokes coming up. Max is going to set up another one there. So, yeah, they're trying to see if they can make the cross and keep BetBoom guessing to some extent. MagnaJez, he's back here, well aware that someone could be in front. You could see Max is looking for it as well. There could be a flash coming in, potentially for MagnaJez, but it's not going to happen in time. Max gets the headshot. That's super well played.
I love that he's trying to make the most of this as well. He's trying to push this aggressively. He gets shoulder peeked by Boomich, who's going to throw down a flashbang to allow him a bit of reprieve. And this now could activate Siren as they slowly crab walk into his crosshair. He goes down to Levy, and this should be 9Z getting some success on their T side, and it's looking pretty clean. Just the one loss of life on Levy. And Dillides, I mean, there's tons of cash surplus for BetBoom, but he's got the AK, and we've already discussed how important that is on the CT side, so I doubt he's even going to bother trying for this.
They come out so well with that particular round. I'm impressed. Dillides trying to do a little bit of damage. He does have a kit, I suppose, so if they're not careful, it could have gone wrong. He does get a couple of kills that was maybe unexpected, but he's also going to give up the AK, so like we said on the other side, it's been MagnaJez, but I guess Artfrost has had to join him. He's up to 15 kills, so slowly but surely we are getting there. Lucan looking to see if he could touch anyone. He did step foot into the Molotov there. I don't think they realized. Great pathing through the edge of the incendiaries that have been thrown down. That's really well played. He does die eventually, but he pretty much did his job. And Siren, it's one of the worst things, having to fight right directly under yourself. And Dillides and Artfrost, they're already trying to make a bit of an escape, but they were. Wowzo Peak has hunted them down. That is an assertive round from 9C. And the fact that there hasn't been one is wasting their time quite a bit more than maybe I would even want to see. 55 seconds.
Yeah, and they're going to start to be concerned about potential A or B stacks. Because they know the economy from BetBoom is going to be pretty grim shape.
Ooh.
Big grenade. Slows them down. Boomich can hear the footsteps, relays information to his teammates. They've got a player up in heaven, one back his sight as well. MagnaJez can only post up the one frag, but there's Boomich on the approach, drops the bomb down. A second kill as well is huge. And it could activate Artfrost and Dillades now to try and clutch out, especially considering that Levy's down to just 7 HP.
Yeah, here he comes. Straight shot onto Lucan. He can't quite escape, but 19 seconds. Dillades with a reposition. I don't know if Levy's even expecting this. Grenade does nothing. The Deagle shot's not connecting. He's down to 10 seconds. He's got to pick up the bomb right now on just straight up fight Dillades, who hasn't even had a chance to reload. He's got 3 bullets here, Vince. Going for the swing. There's only 4 seconds. He can't get off it. Oh, if he goes right now, Levy's got no chance whatsoever. What a tough round to lose for 9C. Yeah, you're right, though. That is just devastating. The HE first, and then the follow-up is there. All right, now it's Levy who's just out combat AWPing. He actually wins against Artfrost, in spite of the fact that his position was already revealed at that point in time. That's kind of interesting.
Down to 17, Urbano going to try and get aggressive, try and take a page out of MagnaJez's playbook. Had a lot of success with this very push. Oh, but he shoots. I don't know what he was shooting at there, but MagnaJez just splatters him anyway.
Yeah, I'm not really sure either. Hard position to clear out against Siren. He might be able to get the kill on for free. Lucan sneaking his way through, but Siren, he's been so good at checking the position. Under 40 seconds now, 3 versus 3. And they're still trying to make it. There's nobody down below. This is still an attempted wraparound now. Look, they're in CT spawn with 30 seconds left. Max trying to get up out of the ladder, but it's absolute chaos. They get stuck on each other on top. It's one of the worst things I've seen in a while. Wowzerpeak ends up going down as well, and there's no chance for Levy. He has to exit the round and just try and save the AWP. Oh, dear.
How 9Z fans wish they had bleach for their eyes after this round. It's like after the first frag that Levy lands onto Artfrost, just skip forward, lads. There's nothing else to see in this round
I know.
for 9Z. Oh, what a complete disaster. MagnaJez is still holding that same position. You see Nico play a lot. Very good player in that garage area on CT side. Just watching for the play. Boomich has consistently been playing downstairs, typically in the vents with an MP9. This time, though, throws in the utility and backs off. Has strength in numbers. Second player there in control room. And Levy is still watching for that secret push. Dillades has spotted himself a couple of players, but the run and gun from the Tech 9 is good, and now it all falls upon the IGL of BetBoom to try and hold the line as long as he possibly can. Any kills, he'll be huge, but he jumps into the lines then.
That is so chaotic. Really well done to dance against Dillades at the start of it. Like, you could see, because I was about to say, he's going to have the shadow advantage on that corner, but they actually baited him into, like, a really awkward fight. And he's got the M4A1, so when you start to panic just a little bit, things kind of can go out of control there. And they certainly did.
Yeah, spot on. It's a position where Artfrost desperately needs to save this. 5,600, I mean, he could... If he's fancying Yorp, he can pick it up for himself and drop the M4 to somebody else. Like MagnaJez, I would say, is probably prime candidate for that.
I don't know if it's become, it still is like a very popular way to stop the Ts from making their way across, but not in this round. Pretty heavy presence in the lobby position. P250 here for Boomich. Oh, what a position on top of the box, but on the outside of it. Why is he such a rat in every position?
So it's like this bait and switch where you're just trying to do as much damage as possible while also stalling any kind of a push. You can't really fully focus an A hit if there's just bullets coming through on Squeaky. It's too narrow of an alleyway for you to be able to just brute force that.
He stole not just the AK, but the Molotov to slow them down even further.
Huge.
Like, that's so sick. And you could see they wanted to push through. That's why they Molotov the hut, right? Now they can't do that. Now they have to worry about it in other ways. They're going to make the bit dive down, but they're losing players left and right. The bomb has made its way down, so at least they should be getting the bomb plant here. Levy trying to stay alive, but it doesn't matter. Flicked out of the air. No bomb plant down below, and BetBoom with an early victory here on Nuke to start the series with.
I mean, MagnaJez was fantastic, but I've got to say, I was very impressed with Boomich's calling there. That was a Boomich masterclass of the nuke. BetBoom continue their winning ways on Nuke with another notch on the belt, and doing it pretty convincingly so. But we now move to Train, Anders, and we are right in the thick of the action, as Artfrost on the CT side has already picked up a frag alongside Magnajez.
And you've got to introduce these things quicker, Vince. We've got no time.
My bad.
I know. What are you doing? So 2 versus 3, and to be honest, with the bomb not down, this is kind of a tough position to be in if you're on the T side. I don't know how they get back into this one, although they do have Magna just kind of low already. He's just stuck in the corner waiting here, but I respect the fact that he's not moving forward too much. He's brought in Boomich. Unfortunately, that's not going to work out, so maybe a bit of a failed attempt there. And with a minute on the clock, 9C, they look like they're actually kind of coming back into this round by just waiting around for a long time. I'd have done it here, looking for another shot. Magno just has to escape. He'll pick up the kit along the way, but this is an awkward round, to say the least.
Yeah, it feels like Siren's going to need to alleviate some of this pressure. I say that as they just hunt down the weak Magnajez. Could sense that weakness, and they do pivot in. Siren unsure as to which of these bomb sites is going to be pushed onto, and a lot of this is because they waited for so long, as you highlighted, Anders. He's not sure as to what to expect here. Now, the kit was put into Ivy, as Levy probably should be a dead man right now. Siren's going to be getting aggressive behind it, but there's Lucan, and that is the first pistol round that has become successful for 9Z. They lost both of them on Nuke, but they've kicked this one out with a bang. Obviously, he's going to need some supporting cast members. We saw Artfrost do that over on Nuke. I want to see a little bit more from Siren here, because I feel like his trajectory has been rising. He was typically like a supportive element, but of course I mentioned him. I'm sorry, guys. That's the caster curse first.
They will, hold on, they do have a smoke and a kit on Magnajez. In theory, if they charge onto the bomb site in the fading seconds, we could see an attempt, because it might be the 9C don't think that there's going to be any kind of a kit in play in this round. So let's just see. Dilladez down, Boomich with a nice headshot. Here comes the smoke on top of the bomb. You can see Magna just running straight for it. There's no one there, Vince. They've already run away. Now they're charging back in, looking for him, but he's inside, hiding, and it will be a stolen round from BetBoom.
Oh, God.
They just weren't expecting it. All right, jumping in his Artfrost. Just nimble on his toes around the corner. Does miss the next one, so this E-box could be his grave, but he's going to get some backup finally. Magno just with the heavy ordnance, going to be taking down Max as well, and they will clear out Levy, so some very fast rounds coming through. BetBoom back to tie up the game. There's not a, 100%. It's not a diss. I'm a big fan of Boomich, so, you know.
Oh, now it's Artfrost's turn. He wants to aggress him into the Pop Dog side, but he's going to be playing a bit more passive. This position very much relies, though, on a lot of presence around E-box, and Magnajez once again dials it in. 2 kills, repelling Ivy. The flash is good as well. That is the bomb carrier, so Max would do well not to lose the bomb. He is the IGL of 9Z, so the brains behind the operation as he pulls the plug and looks to try and divert his attention elsewhere.
Where it's just a single player holding, which is very common. Obviously, if you guys have been watching Train before, you know this. Very likely this B anchor is going to be on his own, and it's just about trying to stay alive and get the information as long as you can. There's good kill for Siren. That's already mission accomplished from his point of view. Max will take him down, but yeah, that's not a bad job at all.
Another reason why I was kind of highlighting him as a player to watch out for, because he will be holding B alone so often. And if he's having a rough day, that is a potential weakness. Now, sure, he goes down, a bit of a rough spray on the second frag. Still, though, the player advantage should be good enough, and it is now being collected on. And who else but Magnajez to put the final nail in the coffin of round 5 and secure another one for BetBoom. The envelope here and really force this, but they're maybe taking a bit too long.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe going to try and take as long as possible to bait as if they're going to hit A and try and draw away a couple of these players. But, oh no, they've just waited too long. And at this point, they're going to be facing a 3-player stack. Already taking a ton of damage as they push out. Siren using that smoke to his advantage. He does get tagged down, able to do enough damage alongside Dilladez to take out 2. But here is Urbano with the Tech 9 before Artfrost puts him down. Spins like a turret and takes a second player. Magnajez cleans the round up. They had another chance there, though, Anders. 9Z probably should have won that round. Especially considering 2 players effectively were in smoke and just uncontested. Molotov goes down. And Dilladez, he backs off. There was definitely some eyebrows raised when Zorti was removed from this BetBoom squad. You know, like people kind of expected him to be one of the better players. Artfrost comes in and we're seeing reasons as to why. Dilladez goes down, though. Some team damage from Artfrost. Not quite sure what just happened, but Boomich is going to be able to step up and deliver one before Qualifier gets aggressive through on Ivy, and Artfrost caught between two players can't do anything.
It's a crazy position for Artfrost to find himself in, and I feel like pushing forward. I guess it's unexpected, but that is a hard round of AWP your way out of, to be honest. Magno just missing the spray. I've got to be honest, I think he had every opportunity to find that kill and just kind of whiffed it a little bit, to be honest. I hate to say it, now that I've talked him up so much, but that probably is the case here. Urbano, nice shots, and they will clean up the round, only losing Lucan here. So that's going to be a confidence-building round of your 9C.
Very curious on that one. But like you said, they're very content here to stack this area. Going to go in for the peak. No one's showing. There's 40 seconds left, Wanders. At some point, 9Z have got to make a call. They've got to make a read and do something with these positions. Now they're going to be moving forward. But there's Boomich. He may have gone down, but he spots multiple players in the process.
They know Magno is somewhere here. They know that he's the third player, so they finally find him. Turns around and spins for it. Takes another kill and now swings wide out of the Molotov. I can't believe he's still alive. There's only 14 seconds left. And the backup surely going to be coming here. They need a space to plant, and that's not going to be happening any longer. Max, he doesn't have the time for it here. Going to go down to Artfrost, but even if he won the battle against Artfrost, he couldn't make it back to the bomb site to actually plant the bomb. That is a wild round that we'll know when that is, when he starts pushing the bottom of Banana. That's when he's in a different mindset. But right now he's going to be far away from the action because they are headed back to the B bomb site once again. Boomich going to be found. Here's an A main somewhere. They're pushing out into Siren, and it's not the best spray that we've seen here. Artfrost missing the opportunity maybe by just a second. Levy will run into it, but the bomb being planted here. There's still a smoke on Wowzo Peak, so they should be able to just keep BetBoom back, and they might even just run away from this one. They've decided it's not worth it, so good calls from 9C.
Yeah, credit to them, man. Could have easily won that last round, barring a Magna Jez special, but they're not going to let it buckle them. And I should also mention as well, I did mention this in the previous map, but just to reiterate that point, as Magna Jez lands the headshot, but Wowzo Peak is far too fast with the AK. They have won their last 3 games on train with this very roster, but they have all gone to OT. And that shows the resilience, the grit, the tenacity of these guys. And some of those games, they were losing at one point. So,
great mentality for the game, even though BetBoom, I think, should, in theory, be a scary team for them to play. They're certainly not acting like it. So, that just, I think, is really nice to see. Artfrost into the Hellfire. Doesn't make it that far out, but Boomich is back with his shenanigans, going to be taking down Lucan. It's a funny way to start the round.
And these are the kind of rounds where the economy that we were discussing a couple of times kind of comes back to catch up with BetBoom a little bit. You don't have the open play now. You don't have that much utility. BetBoom have nothing on Boomich or Magna Jez, and that's why he's gone aggressive looking for information that's cost him his life.
It has, but at the same time, like, you could see it was so close to making that work. I don't think they recognize that Magnus is already in there. They don't know. If he walks up right now, he could flank the whole team. They got so baited up by that flashbang, not because they got flashed, but because they thought he was peeking on the other side of the hallway. Siren just has to live. Magno just already shooting one in the back here, and expertly played from Siren. Just keep it alive a couple of seconds longer. He will go down. And now they know where Magnus is, or at least they know that he's in the hallway somewhere. It looks like Wowzo Peak is not thinking about the fact that he could have snuck up all this way. Not sure who's cheating who at the moment. Dilladez down on the bomb site, looking for the headshot against Levy, and he's just perfectly played it there. Magno Jez with another shot in the back, and that is, man, there was a lot happening in this round. Very tricky play, I must say, for BetBoom.
That is such a sick round for Magna Jez, man. Limited sample size, but 40% win rate on T side, 67% on the CT side. So, yeah, I think 4 rounds is okay. 5 rounds would be a damn good showing. And Magna Jez, not for the first time under heavy duress over on Ivy. Meanwhile, though, Siren in a different angle has the AWP overwatch of Artfrost there. Magna Jez does lose his trade, though, which is going to force the rotation away from Artfrost. That leaves Siren alone. He's scared about this potential peek from Wowzo. Oh, and he doesn't catch him. Oh, it betrays him. The timing could not have been worse. And that should be B site now, being barraged down on. Siren did get his 1-4 on trade and picks up a second frag. Oh, that's so huge. That's a lifeline for BetBoom.
which unfortunately sneaking in and just missing the timing there, just not quite ready for it. Siren is surely going to get traded out in this position. Max with the skill, and it is another round for 9C at the end of it, so not really that bad. They're up to 5 at the end of the half.
But I completely agree with you. Hwaza Peak had a solid half. My concern now, though, is that you are going to be on the receiving end of those aggressive peaks. It's one thing to be taking those fights. How do you do when the pressure is firmly placed on you? Because MagnaJez didn't slow down on the T side of Nuke. He was a fiend on that T side. So, yeah. And you also started to see Art Frost step up as well. So we'll have to wait and see what happens here. Art Frost has picked up the first frag, though, but there is Levy.
Yeah, Lucan, though, they're going to combine. Art Frost is down the P250. That was at the bottom of Ivy to get that first kill. Kind of a swing back here in favor of 9C. There's still plenty of time in the round. And they're going to be grouping up. A lot of this is going to depend on how deep can they get an Ivy before they get discovered. Max is going back to check. This is so important. He doesn't have to commit to the fight, although he absolutely does. I was going to say, just peek it, just find out that they're there. That's all you need. But now they're kind of back into it. 2 versus 3, a minute on the clock, and let's see how slow they play it. Remember, this is how 9C won the pistol to begin with, is by just playing it slowly enough for BetBoom to make a mistake. Well, the shoe's kind of on the other foot here. We'll see if 9C give them an opportunity, an isolated fight. Lucan, they're not playing to trade the kills right now on 9C.
And they still have tons of time left. Like, they've got the pick they were looking for. 30 seconds. They can easily slow walk this all the way over onto the B site. They don't have to fully commit to this. They're hoping that 9Z have fully bit down on this rotation. Levy's watching the cross. MagnaJez with a P250 is going to go out first here. And he's just spotted a pixel around the corner. Needs to convert this frag, but Levy gets both. They line up and he knocks them down. You're talking about the importance of the pistol round. Well, 9Z have picked it up. No problems. Just seems like he's going to be in that team forever for the rest of his career.
Yeah, trying to build it with whatever he can find, whatever pieces he can get to make the puzzle work. I respect it. I think it's nice to see. It's also good to see that, you know, there was a really point in time in Counter-Strike when we said like South America, we just meant Brazil. Like that was the only thing that we really meant. But now you've got other countries starting to really, you know, get in the mix. Like Argentina's there. You've got Uruguay now. We've got some Chilean players as well. Like the whole sort of continent is starting to get wrapped into Counter-Strike, which is great news. What we want to see. MagnaJez has found a headshot on the Max. So a 3v3 in this round. So BetBoom, with a little reminder from Hayes there that that ultimately they're not that good on the T side. It's probably really important they get started early on here. So this buy round is absolutely critical.
No doubt, MagnaJez slowly. Oh, he's picked up the pace. I thought he was going to just walk straight into Con and into the embracing arms of Urbano, but instead he does get the entry, and that should facilitate a bomb plant. And now Levy and Lucan in a bit of trouble. Levy down at 15 HP. MagnaJez low HP of his own. Should not be getting this kill, but he's got the information. The intel's forthcoming. Lucan's position now compromised. Spray good from Siren. And an incendiary will force Boomich into the open, but be careful what you wish for, because on 7 HP, he will close the round out.
So maybe they can. Molotov HE combination at the start of the round. We've seen that work a couple of times already. 1 round lead, but more than that, it is probably the economy here. Boomich, unfortunately, not ready at all for that position, and his shadow was showing, so Urbano, pretty good performance from him once again. He's up to 11 kills here.
So yeah, we're already at that kind of rough position where, sure, the opposition is different. PARIVISION, certainly, I would say, are a couple of steps above 9Z, for sure.
I'm assuming that
they have struggled.
Oh, hold on. Max getting the kill. Decides to fall back just a little bit. They're actually boxed in here completely. It's a 5 versus 3. They're in the back B hallways, and I don't think there's a way to really escape this one. Siren gets completely jumped on there. MagnaJez trying to make his way down, but there's just no more life left in them. Artfrost's going to be going down, and that will be a nice early round here for 9C to try and stop BetBoom from... He is checking every once in a while, but all it takes is to be off for like a couple of seconds. You can see now he's going to be setting up the smoke. They're still getting closer now. They've already spotted him out, and he should be a dead man here. The spray is not exactly perfect, but it'll get the job done eventually. MagnaJez flashed out and goes down. Oh, it's a disaster. Everything has gone horribly wrong here for BetBoom. Maybe this is why they're not that good on the T side. Oh, that's awful.
Yep. Tons of impact with this all playing on the Ivy side. I was expecting to see Artfrost sometimes occupy this position, but he never really did.
Yeah.
And Levy showing why it's so powerful.
Okay, Lucan, Max to follow it up. Siren, not quite sure if there's any other combatants nearby. That can work if just one of them gets a kill here in the yard. There's definitely something interesting, but at the same time, 9C are pushing up into the hallways behind them. So there is a timer on this round for BetBoom. If they don't move quickly, they will run out of time and get shot in the back instead. WowZoPeak already knows it. He's going to go down to Magnogis, though. An important opening.
Oh, Levy caught in the back. Was fully anticipating this would be a one-dimensional push out of main and Pop Dog respectively. Now the two players that were on B have now come through on the Pop Dog of their own. Max taking a ton of damage down to the hands of Diladez's Galil. They're not sure where Abano is. Now they're going to find him firsthand, and Siren will send him packing. A second T round.
With another round. Now, unfortunately, like we said, there's so much money that's been built up at 9C, so BetBoom have all of the work still ahead of them. Levy's taking a bit of damage to begin with, but he will still catch Boomich. As the early grenades that are thrown from T main, they're super common, so that's what tagged up Levy. It doesn't matter.
Continues to have a ton of impact early on in these rounds. Not for the first time, BetBoom clubbed together, trying to force their will and impose themselves over on Ivy. WowZoPeak spam through the smoke. It's going to start to clear. Flash is there, but there is another player here in Ivy now who's also gone down. That's going to be Max. Levy gets one as he pulls back, but his position is now known, and there is still a lot of time on the clock. There's a lot of ways that BetBoom can make this successful as Levy's gun peeks through the smoke and he gets punished by Artfrost. Experience playing in alongside Blade, or under him, I should say, Coach and IGL respectively. So I always feel like there's a way that he can turn it back around again, which is why it was so surprising for me to see those stats. Yeah, we're getting to that fulcrum point now of this map where it can bend and shatter on either side. WowZoPeak, not for the first time, going to get aggressive on Ivy, and not for the first time getting success. Oh, nearly finds a kill on the approach from Diladez, but they both back away. They got the hit and run they were looking for.
And if they try and rotate in from the C connector, we'll find, yeah, he's not looking for this position. It still could be that Boomer just kind of crouches into the shot, but let's find out if the crosshair actually will betray him here. It's Siren to go down at the beginning, and there's the missed position, but Levy's right there. Important kill for him to get 30 seconds. They're going to start to rotate on in. Deep grenade, but it gets caught on top of the train. That is not how you wanted that to play out. Bomb's going to be planted here, and Magnogez, see if he can be the hero. He's hiding inside of the smoke, and unfortunately, Max is going to be there to catch him. That would have been fun to watch, but I don't think Diladez can stay alive for much longer.
Oh, he desperately needed Magnogez to be a real interference play. Try as he may, Diladez is going to fall short after the first kill, and it may look a bit foolish to people, thinking like, why is Magnogez pushing into the smoke? It's because in a 2v4, when you don't even know if they have incendiaries or HEs, you've got to make a Hail Mary play.
They can. They're heading in the right direction rapidly. On top, WowZoPeak jumping on over. It's a trade-in. Boomich starts to get the opening, but they've got rid of Magnogez, who's up to 20 kills. So getting him out of the round early on, he's got to feel great. They need 3 more kills, and they can make their way onto a third map on Dust 2. Once again, BetBoom very stretched out at the start of this round. 2 of them grouped up towards the B-bomb site. They've got Diladez lurking around down towards Ivy, going to be bumping right into WowZoPeak, but straight shot as he tries to get out of the smoke. They're going to find one player on his own, so bomb plant should be happening, but there's another flank coming in. Max is right behind them and surely going to be able to find the kill. I think he already showed his hand there, so they know that he's there.
They're going to just try and force the plant down anyway, though, and Siren now they try and do what Magnogez was unable to successfully achieve in the last round, but Max, he's finally shown his hand. If they weren't aware before, they certainly are now. Best of luck to you, Artfrost. Surrounded. Position is good for a one and done, and that's about all. And he may not even be afforded that luxury because Max will be checking his angles. 9Z takes us to a third map. Against all the odds, BetBoom have succumbed on Train.
Well, let's see how that prediction plays out. We are into the game now. BetBoom, they are going to be starting on the T side, 9C on the CT side, and I do like this forward position on the catwalk here. It just means you're more dynamic on the CT side. You can kind of change your position depending on what's coming your way, or if you're MagnaDish, you can just get killed inside of the smoke to begin with. The first casualty there, not exactly ideal. Oh yeah, and I think the HUD is incorrect. There we go. BetBoom will be on the CT side. Might have cheated all of you right then, but 9C still. They at least get the opening kill. Unfortunately, now they're bleeding a couple of players trying to get to the B-bomb site.
Well, Levy, though, showing no signs of slowing down, has already erupted out onto the B site, trying to take that P250 at range, but does get tagged down to 47. Doing a good job, though, of stalling and allowing this rotation to come through. Keep an eye on the A site right now, because there is a player coming out of there. But Levy's gone down to the hands of Boomich. And so Max on this long con, this long flank, is not going to yield as much success as he was hoping for. He slows it down, doesn't have control over the bomb, which is spilled out onto the site. It's a nightmare for 9Z. You could see what they were looking for. It was nearly perfect, but now Max has put down his opposite number, IGL. But Siren knows exactly what's up as he holds his position. This is courageous. This is ballsy, Anders. If he gets peeked in this angle, he's just going to die and feel terrible about it. But he's waiting to try and hear for that drop down onto the site. He's now been spotted. Can Max seal the deal in this 1 versus 2? Siren's had so many opportunities and comes out second best. Max will clutch, and it gets 9Z in the lead.
Or at least try to snatch some of that dream away from them. Dillardez just jiggling. All he wants to do is to throw down the incendiary. It can be kind of tricky in this position because if they throw the lurk smoke, that'll probably stop the incendiary. Oh, that smoke goes so deep. Yeah, they're going to run in front of it. That smoke is so far behind them that it just absolutely... I was essentially making the same point just with the incendiary grenade, that it can be hard to throw it correctly. That mistake that he just made there is a really common one, where you toss the smoke grenade so deep in.
Also, another very concerning element of this is that BetBoom, MagnaJiJieHao has been unbelievably good in both of their opening maps, even though they're 1-1. He's 0-4. He has had absolutely no impact whatsoever.
Does seem like they do need him at the moment, although I guess nobody on BetBoom at the moment has any real kills. Siren with a studied position. You can just tell he knows exactly when he's going to fall off this ledge. So we'll see if Lucan is going to be quite ready. I doubt it. It doesn't look like he's even looking for this position at the moment, but it's Max to begin with, and Siren, great headshots, tries to make his escape. Is back around the corner. It's all out panic. Still has a couple of bullets left, and finally he's hunted down, but honestly, still great 2-for-1 trade.
Important kill from Art Frost as well. If he dies to the hands of Quazo Peak, that opening 2 from Siren could completely come unraveled. And that would be the A site probably falling, and maybe even another save coming into play. So, important frag comes through. Boomich there once again. And, you know, I did just double check the stats. So you got MagnaJiJieHao after the first 2 maps. 100 ADR, 42 kills, a 1.66 rating. Unbelievably good. Boomich is in second with a 1.07. Everybody else is on a negative rating for BetBoom in this best of 3. So they definitely need an Art Frost, a Dillardez to come alive here. You're expecting his Art Frost is, of course, the AWPer. This is where he should shine and start to prevail. But he is against Levy, who's off the back of a heater of a trained performance. But he doesn't really want any part in this round. He wants to save. If he can take some kills with him, all the better for it. And that frag is going to push him forward, try and bait out a player pushing into that smoke, but it won't be forthcoming. Looks like he will successfully save the AWP, but BetBoom finally on the board. Hot off the back of finally getting some success, then put down into a tech issue. Is it going to stunt their comeback? A lot of damage done to Max, though, early on in the round.
Yeah, well, let's find out. You're right. There is a chance that they just kind of wanted the momentum here. Art Frost in the middle. Oh, my God. I don't know how Levy wins that fight. He looked so careless walking through, like he had no idea that Art Frost could have seen him. But Art Frost misses the shot and just get instantly punished instead. So that is shocking. What are they going to do in return here? They're actually all in the middle. So look at them on the BetBoom side. They've given up the A-bomb side. They've decided, let's hope that this becomes some kind of a split, or at least we can fight in the middle. Magno just unable to flick either. Levy's just beating them on time alone. Weapons if they can. I appreciate 9C for trying to do this. It's not like they have a ton of money themselves, but they certainly have more than BetBoom. If they lose everybody here, but they get all the rifles, it's totally worth it for 9C. So Yes, it's risky pushing through this one, but a couple of kills right now could be worth it. It's already Boomich gone down. Trades are in now. Diladez gets completely taken down. It's so worth it for the T side. If they'd lost 2 more rifles, it still would have been worth it. Gel shocked from 9C playing better than anyone expected. It's going to be fast towards the bomb side. I like this call. Diladez grenaded. Even the smoke went up there, but it didn't matter at all. He just has no chance, and this round is already done for. The bomb is like planted. There's nothing BetBoom can do about this, and they shouldn't try.
I love this call from Max so much, man. Levy drops the AWP to Huazopeak, who has now just been succumbed by MagnaJez, who gets his first kill on this half, by the way. But because he had the perfect spawn, he doesn't mind going for the full-on entry, the aggression. He gets the opening pick. However, with MagnaJez getting a second kill, and maybe there's a way back into this round yet.
I feel like this is where you get lured into trying to go for it, but you end up with so little time that you lose all the rifles. I've seen this 100 times before. Magno just going to get the 1 kill there. They're pushing right in front and lined up for Lucan. And again, that clock is already running down low. Another spray. He gets a triple before Art Frost decides it's no longer worth it. And you could hear that bomb ticking in the corner. Again, you can totally understand why they want to go for it, but it is a classic Counter-Strike scenario. You get a little bit too much success, and then that becomes your ultimate undoing. Oh, man. Mars, the double up certainly is interesting, but apart from that, just think about the lack of grenades as well. It's an important kill at the start. Boomich will take down Ivano. They are out on loan. They've got Max on the catwalk, and he might have to bail them out. But the problem is, Outfrost is holding the corner right now. If he peeks into it and dies, it should be over. That's it. Like, Max is down. 3 of them stuck on long. There should be no road back into this one for 9Z.
Should being the operative word, but even if they don't win this round, Anders, if you see 2 or 3 kills picked up in this position, it is still going to have dire consequences for BetBoom. It will put someone down into a horrible bye come the next round, potentially 2 or 3 players. And although they had 3, it's now down to 2. But Levy still alive. The man that has been on form for 9Z during all the ups and downs. And once again, he rattles the dome of Siren with the AWP. 50 seconds left. There's a player up close, but Levy's going to be watching for this as they try and boost up potentially onto the elevator position, but the CTs are not together. They're going to be taking some serious time off this clock.
Yeah, nice Molotov. You can see how much pressure it puts on, but I can understand the worry in your voice here. There is definitely a chance for something. What a headshot from Wowzope. Levy as well on top. He goes for another swing. He wants this one. If they steal it back, it's going to destroy BetBoom. They were destined to win this round. A 5 versus 3. A missed opportunity for the flick there, but Levy's repositioning. Got to be careful. This is his last shot. He doesn't have any more, and it's a headshot. He blows the helmet and the skull off of MagnaJez.
Able to play around the periphery of the smokes. There's no one here on card. No one's up close. Like, BetBoom right now, they are being pushed around and slapped across the face, and they have nothing to say about it. They just have to take it over and over again.
Yeah, it seems kind of hopeless. I mean, even in the rounds where things start very well. Okay, a little bit of a jump there. Oh, what a shot, though. Wowzopeak catching MagnaJez as he's just almost got his eyes down behind the ledge there. It does obviously slow down the bomb plan. That's kind of good news, but is it enough to actually win the round? 3v3.
They're going to have to start to worry about this being a possibility. And although we can see no one is there, it's going to trade a couple of sets of eyes away from Catwalk, away from CT. And that's where maybe things come undone. Diladez hiding behind the box forever, playing the long game, being patient, is going to be paid out with that one. But he's gone down now, and so will Boomich as once again 9Z steal a round away, coming out clutch. But man, someone else needs to step up when it comes to these opening duels, because it feels like Boomich is taking like a very large amount, 75% plus. I'd have to go back and look at the stats after this game, but like no one else is seemingly capable of taking any map control. Again, Siren, called upon, needs to get at least 1 frag, maybe 2, dies instantly alongside Artfrost. It's just deja vu.
This does look like a team that's kind of lost the belief in anything at the moment. Like, they've kind of disintegrated from within. All right, let's sneak across here. Wowzopeak. All right, spotted out. That's a little bit unfortunate. the grenade in hand as well. Boomich will go down nonetheless, and Magno just looking to reposition, but Urbano's just so quick in the AK. Straight headshot to get the kill. Dilides, they know where he is. They've heard him jumping, and backup is coming. They might as well just wait a little bit here. 7 seconds left. It's Max to get the kill. Time was running low. That was maybe the only problem, but otherwise, another great round here as 9C just continue to stomp on BetBoom.
But Dust 2 should never be this one-sided. This is insane. Look at how aggressive they are again. And it's the easiest of picks. Just they line up for Urbano. Holds left click, sprays down 2. Round's done.
They've just fumbled absolutely everything here, BetBoom. Like, once they started slipping up, it never really ended. Oh, no. That is, it's just a devastating fumble, unfortunately. Sure, they get Wowzerbeak here, but it's also Dilides alone with 6 health. There is no world in which you can get this one. Max is just ready and waiting, trying to decide Deagle or AK, which weapon am I going to be using? It will be the AK at the end here. 9C with a sick first half, my God.
The old cliche, 1 round at a time, but I mean, it is so applicable here. The thing is, you can't even just unwind and turn your brain off and go to the next map, because this is the last map in the series. They have got the first pick, though. Magnajez, who had, I think it was a 0-5 start in the first half, has already kicked off the second half with a bang. As Levy now called upon, the way he's playing, you'd almost fancy him to crack a couple of domes, but instead, he will go down. And that should be a second round to BetBoom. So they've navigated their way over the first hurdle. There's going to be a lot more where that came from, but at least they've done this one pretty clean.
Yeah, good work. There is usually some sort of inflection point in a game like this one where the team that's obviously winning suddenly is not so obviously winning anymore, and that happens so much later on, so that's why it's not really worth discussing too much yet, but we'll try and flag it when we kind of get to it. And usually you can even feel it just watching the game. You can kind of get a sense of like, ooh, that it's easy, we're winning feeling has kind of gone away. And you know, if 9C ever get there, it's going to be an interesting test of the mentality of the team, if they crumble and succumb to that feeling, or if they can, you know, just power on through. I feel like there's 2 options. Like, either he's the first one to peek, and if they hunt him down, they run into the scout that's at the A bomb site. So we'll see. Yeah, he's been found in the pit. So now the question is if the scout can help him out. They are kind of trying to get that battle out there. Max is going to get 1, and he will be traded out. And Wowzerbeak goes down to the pit. So now the scout is, you know, it was out there. Levy was the one who was by the car with the scout. So he was hoping to sort of try and play around the Deagle that was in the pit. It just doesn't really work out that way, unfortunately. And they will lose Urbano at the end. So ultimately, it's another round for BetBoom. They're slowly collecting. They're slowly trying to get as many as they can.
Yeah, and the problem for Siren here as well is he's alone. So you can see he's basically holding a 360 angle position at this point. Like going backwards and forwards. He has got the first pick and the second as well. And now the cavalry's arriving. And I think Max realized too late as he heard the pitter-patter of footsteps charging him down. Siren with 3. Finally, we're starting to see some of these periphery players, some of these supporting cast members step up and take some of the slack. Better late than never.
Okay. Magnus is down. Gonna at least be able to pick up the AK with the AWP on the other side. I think it's likely that we'll see some more saving happening in some of these rounds from 9C, because again, that economy is just such a big part of it. So more important for them to keep it alive. All they need is 2 more rounds, and that's what their focus should be on. And it's more likely at the end of the day that those 2 rounds will be picked off of actual full buys and not, you know, scrambled together force-ups. So it makes sense what they're doing right now. Just keep cool, but BetBoom can do up to 5 rounds. I mean, and you're right. Slowly, we're seeing some other players really starting to, you know, get into the game a little bit more, which obviously what was BetBoom was needing all along.
Kind of have to push behind this, though. They don't have the time to be second-guessing themselves. And if there's no flashes that are going to precede this peak, it should be pretty straightforward for Levy. But there is a Molotov, and he decides to pull the plug just in the nick of time. Another Molotov down, surviving, but now while Flash will burn to a crisp. And there's no one here to stop this bomb plant. Lucan daren't jump up and show his position. With 4 players left, what's the decision going to be? I mean, you wouldn't hold it against them if they went to save here. I know it sucks, but Wowzerbeak may have just baited them in. Oh, what a shot!
That's absurd. He's just so accurate. He's found another headshot, and now they should be able to go for the defuse right now. If they can just make it around the corner here, put the pressure on Artfrost. Wowzerbeak goes down, tapping the bomb, and Artfrost to save the day. That is finally his time to shine. It is interesting, and he's holding it for a long, long time. 50 seconds now.
Max may be called upon here. Diladez up close, and Max deals with him. And trade up to that AK as well if he so chooses. Molotov down to afford him that luxury. He was scared about being pushed. And now the pressure firmly on the shoulders of BetBoom. 30 seconds. They've got to try and bypass this defense once again. Levy with the AWP. They don't have time to mess around. They've got to get out there right now.
Yeah, they're really running the clock down low here. 18 seconds. Good flash. His teammate in Wowzerbeak is coming in from long here, but that AWP very nearly falls. That could have been a bit of a nightmare. Bomb's going to be planted now. BetBoom, so far so good. This looked like a round that could have completely spiraled out of control. Losing the fight in the middle, nearly running out of time, and then running into the AWP on the catwalk. I mean, it's a lot to overcome, but so far they've done a remarkable job. And maybe they can keep it alive and still find a way to Malta for the actual finals here. Artfrost gets one, but he's not quick enough on the flick. And now Lucan activated. Doesn't even reload. He's got 6 bullets left, pushing up. His teammates on the other side. There's a really good retake coming in. 9C, now up to 12 rounds.
Great play from Lucan, showing us that maybe he's had a bit of a quiet series, but he's still a problem. He's still a nuisance.
One good opening AWP shot here, and we are home safe. If you're 9C, that's got to be the dream. Some smokes landing at the long corner. It's MagnoJiz thinking about going for the run, and he actually will continue. It's a little bit slowed down, and he will get dropped by Levy. Great shot. Takes care of him. Boomich in the middle. It is starting to unravel, Vince.
Yeah. It's quickly getting out of control. For all of the posturing, for all of the doubts in these last 5 or so rounds, 9Z showing us it was no fluke. Wowzerbeak's had a great map, tons of impact, tons of highlight reel-worthy moments, but Levy, once again, has had a stellar series throughout the entire matches. Even when they lost on Nuke, he was one of the players to watch out for. But Artfrost may not be done just yet. This is going to allow them now to effectively swarm onto this B site. There's only one player here in the form of Urbano. If he can get one kill, that may be good enough. Oh, you can see he was pressured, he was anxious, he pre-fired way too soon, gave his position away, and gave away his life. BetBoom may have a couple more stings in the tail yet.
That is one of those small mistakes that can have big consequences. Bombs planted, a tough retake in a 3v3, but they do have Wowzerbeak sneaking up behind, and as long as he's alive, I mean, I can't really blame them for trying to go for it. Artfrost might be a free kill. He's not even thinking about it at all. Yeah, he's going to be dead instantly. Now it's a disaster. Now it's trouble. Max in the window, trying to get through. Siren, he's got to be low on bullets as well. Spray not connecting for Wowzerbeak, and the USP's out. They thought he was low, but Siren standing tall. That's 4 kills in the round to keep BetBoom in the tournament. That might be a round to remember for 9C. Oh, the spin around there. Max thinking there was going to be a flashbang. They still cleaned it up in the middle. Pushing everywhere all at once. That is so hard to stop. That was a 3-way push coming in. But they still get traded in. Wowzerbeak to go down. And somehow BetBoom have come out on top in spite of what looked like almost the finishing blow there against BetBoom.
Yeah, stay of execution. Oh, Siren needs to get this done clean. It's anything but. Does it get punished? And there's still a minute left on the clock. That's a second potential AK picked up as well, but they're not sure about the position of the 2Ts, who are now scampering across onto the long side. Levy does have the M4 alongside Lucan's AK. We say a stay of execution, but maybe it will come full circle, and that axe, the guillotine, is still going to come down. Oh, Levy's in position as well. They may not expect him to be here this quickly.
A little bit of a tap coming in. Frost. My God, he is so low on health here. Bomb gets planted. Can he make it out? If he'd walked the other way into the HE, it could have been the end of the round already, but the reposition is pretty good, and I'm not seeing anything like a smoke on Lucan, because obviously That would put a lot of pressure on Artfrost here. If he can drop that smoke on top of the plant, there is a better chance. No kit either. It's all down to this 1v1. This could easily be the full comeback for BetBoom if they win this one.
I'm surprised Lucan's even sticking around at this point. You have no kit. You know it's Artfrost. You know the chance of the Norp and where he's realistically going to be.
Yeah, right.
Has to back out. Like, I think he was looking around for a perspective like smoke or something that would be laid around, but nothing forthcoming, and Artfrost will go down with a bomb. Not that he'll care too much.
But 9C, this is where you could easily start to make a couple of mistakes. It's so much pressure here. Max with a bit of a jump. Did see the shadow of somebody, but the grenade goes very deep, and unfortunately, he's going to get taken down by Artfrost, who's really started to come alive. He's up to 16 kills. He might actually end up saving BetBoom.
He was 6 kills, 9 deaths when I highlighted him before. Then he pulled off that 1v3 clutch, and that seemed to be like the shot in his arm of vitality that he so desperately required. And now Dilladez, he's been motivated. He's been inspired by his AWPer. Comes in with 2 clean Galil headshots. And the way that this is going, you would not put it past BetBoom to take us to OT and maybe just outright win. It would be an absolutely devastating turn of affairs for 9Z, all things considered. Like you said, one more bullet in that M4A1S for Levy, it's probably done. They have had a lot of opportunities, and you said maybe some mistakes starting to creep in. I think we're already seeing them. That Urbano pre-fire, for example, a couple of missed utility, a couple of missteps when it comes to able to avenge and counter-frag. But do 9Z have the ability to still pick it up? They got 2 more chances.
And it's so hard to blame them for these kind of mistakes. I mean, it's hard to imagine what kind of pressure you're going to be under when you are so close to the line, you were so close to making this work, and then suddenly it all spirals. Levy found with the AWP, they hunt down every single weapon, and now BetBoom.
Give me a chance. I don't care what the score is. I don't care what's on the line. Give me the opportunity, and I will give us the advantage. And he has. No kill, but like you said, he knocks off the leg of Dilladez. Boomich also down to 29. If they're looking to try and execute over onto the B site right now, a stray bullet through the smoke could get a couple kills here for 9Z. 40 seconds. Boomich, though, still gets the first pick, and it is that man of Levy.
Down and out. Urbano, what could you do? He's got an incendiary. He's already thrown it down. That will slow them, and there's only 25 seconds. That's actually kind of sick. They kind of have to do something about this. He's got a flashbang, but there's no backup coming. They're so far away. In the middle, it's Boomich to go down, and Urbano's still back here, looking in the doorway. Hold on. Hold the phone for just a second. Max has shown up as well. This might work out. There's only 8 seconds left. They need to find the kills, BetBoom. I don't think they're going to be able to plant the bomb any longer. They're running out of time. It's already up. They try to plant it now, but I don't think it's in time. No! 9C win as the clock runs out. And BetBoom, what a way to lose.
Oh my, what an anticlimactic way to lose the game. They were milliseconds away from getting that plant down, but like you said, Urbano, he didn't even need to get kills. He stalled them for so long.